And then we cannot. It happened this morning. My mom calls me.
I mean,
Logan.
should we? This is like.
No, he's not even.
We're on it, dude.
Hello?
Jesus. This is fucked.
A quote, small militia in armored trucks wearing SWAT and/or tactical gear was seen leaving his house.
Logan Paul in tears after Jake Paul is arrested for involving on Anthony Joshua car crash. Logan Paul broke down. But is this arrest really the whole story? He's defending his brother fiercely, questioning whether the investigation fully understands what happened. While Anthony Joshua's crash was tragic, Logan hints at gaps in accountability, suggesting the Paul brothers are being targeted unfairly by the media and authorities.
Your brother's house is getting raided by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I said, what, Mom? Mom, it's 8:30. What are you saying?
Logan is heartbroken seeing his brother Jake arrested, defending him fiercely while questioning the investigation. He calls out the chaos surrounding Anthony Joshua's horrific car crash, where 2 people tragically lost their lives. The Paul brothers are being dragged through the mud unfairly, treated like villains for a tragedy they didn't orchestrate, and Logan isn't staying silent.
You're not gonna get shit out of me, government.
Wow.
I won't say a word, but yeah, I checked in on him. He's fine. He physically, again, it's a bit of a headache. We're figuring it out, and the story will.
Jake Paul's FBI investigation has exposed him as a laughingstock in the boxing and public world. His so-called involvement in Anthony Joshua's horrific car crash has put him and his brother under the microscope, revealing recklessness over responsibility. The Paul brothers are being humiliated globally, with trust shattered and credibility erased, and it's clear their fame won't shield them from public outrage.
You do this. Yo, no, this. Yo, this, dude.
Frank Smith doesn't hold back, highlighting how Jake Paul's own reckless choices landed him in this mess. While many would avoid chaos, Jake dove headfirst into controversy, and now he's paying the price. The Paul brothers' arrogance is on full display, showing the world that fame without accountability only leads to humiliation and legal disaster.
I could never do what he did. Yeah. Most people in the world could never do what he did. But he's got himself into this position.
Eddie Hearn calls out Jake Paul's actions as outright reckless and premeditated. This wasn't just poor judgment. It was a deliberate move that endangered lives and triggered chaos. The Paul brothers are exposed as careless and arrogant, proving that fame can't protect you from the consequences of calculated stupidity.
What was it, about an hour ago, so I guess everything's calmed down a little bit. I thought it was a bitch move, if I'm honest, because anytime an attack like that is like premeditated.
Duke McKenzie humiliates Jake Paul mercilessly, calling him out for being completely out of his depth. His actions in the AJ crash investigation show the same lack of professionalism as in the ring. The Paul brothers' arrogance and incompetence are on full display, making it clear they're unfit for serious scrutiny or responsibility.
AJ said, and everybody knows, he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game, and he was way out of his level.
Johnny Nelson reminds everyone that real life is far more serious than boxing drama. Anthony Joshua's crash tragically claimed 2 lives, and no fight or stunt can compare to that loss. The Paul brothers, reckless and self-absorbed, are lucky they weren't directly responsible for more devastation. It's a harsh lesson on accountability and consequences.
It's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing a life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these 2 men were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Tyson Fury snaps at the media and public circus surrounding Jake Paul's alleged involvement. While the Paul brothers are being humiliated for their reckless behavior, Fury reminds everyone that humanity comes first. Behind the chaos, Anthony Joshua survived a horrific crash and 2 people lost their lives. Yet the world focuses on scandal, exposing the Paul's ego and lack of responsibility.
They are not your enemies. They are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth Remember that. Spread love, not hate.
Sonny Faz captures the shocking scale of Anthony Joshua's ordeal while painting the Paul brothers in a humiliating light. AJ faces life and death consequences, losing 2 close friends, while the Paul's reckless behavior is being dragged into the spotlight. Jake Paul's arrest adds insult to injury, exposing their entitlement and irresponsibility. Logan's emotional response shows just how much the brothers are scrambling to defend themselves. Millions watched AJ dominate in the ring, yet now he's fighting a battle far bigger: survival and justice. The Paul brothers' actions, real or alleged, have put them under a harsh public microscope, and the world.
Is 2 weeks ago, this guy's in front of the whole world. Netflix, millions of dollars, breaks Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, decides to go back to Nigeria, almost dies. 2 of his closest friends pass away in the accident. You never know what they...
Jarrell Miller empathizes with AJ's unimaginable trauma, acknowledging the emotional toll of the crash and the tragic loss of his friends. The Paul brothers' reckless involvement only deepens the scrutiny and public outrage. Seeing lives hang in the balance, fans are left questioning how fame and ego could push the brothers into such a catastrophic situation.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ, we're not on the best terms, man, I feel for this brother, man. Because it could have been my family, could have been my friends. And, I feel like, man, it's mentally, kind of draining looking at this stuff all day online. And like I said, I didn't really see nothing too graphic until this morning. Was like, now I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life, man. I've seen dead bodies before and all that. Man, I don't even know how to even express myself.
Gareth Davies calls attention to the true human cost of Anthony Joshua's crash, highlighting the 2 tragic deaths. While the media covered the story responsibly, the Paul brothers are now under fire for their alleged connection, facing a storm of public condemnation. Fame and reckless behavior have collided, leaving them humiliated and under relentless scrutiny.
Of what happened, obviously it's a tragic incident. 2 people have lost their lives. It's a horrific moment. I thought the reporting of it yesterday, I've read and obviously got in contact with his management team straight away. I thought the reporting of it was responsible, not speculative.
Pain Game paints the shocking contrast between Joshua's peak fame and the near-death nightmare he endured. From millions in the bank to fighting for survival, the tragedy exposes the Paul brothers' alleged recklessness. Public outrage is inevitable as their actions, or even their presence around the crash, make them targets for criticism and humiliation worldwide.
Life. And it's so crazy to think that over a week and a half ago he was on top of the world. Apparently he'd pocketed $92 million from his Jake Paul fight. The American audience was in love with him. His star was bigger than ever. And then just yesterday we see footage like this of AJ being pulled from the wreckage in a situation where if he'd just sat on the other side of the car, they wouldn't have been pulling him out alive. There's no way he would have survived.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes the real human cost behind the headlines, showing how Anthony Joshua and the families of the deceased are relying on support, care, and protection while the Paul brothers face the consequences of their reckless actions. AJ's near-death experience and the tragic loss of his close friends underscore the gravity of the situation. The Paul's arrest and FBI investigation have exposed them to global scrutiny, humiliating them publicly. While fame, money, and boxing glory once protected them, now their reputation is on the line, and the world sees the consequences of ego and irresponsibility. Eddie's words remind fans that beyond the spectacle of fights, life and family matter most. This is a harsh reality check for Jake and Logan Paul, who must answer for the chaos surrounding AJ's accident.
For them and the family, anything they need. Sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure obviously they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy and as happy as can be.
Joe Rogan raises the haunting questions everyone is asking after Anthony Joshua's horrifying car crash. Survival came at a brutal cost, and while AJ physically escaped, the mental and emotional scars linger. The tragedy of losing his friends in the front seats is unimaginable, and it's clear the Paul brothers' alleged involvement has intensified the fallout. Their arrest and the FBI probe have cast a dark shadow over their names, showing that fame and clout cannot shield them from accountability. Logan Paul's attempts to defend himself and his brother are falling flat against the scale of the public outrage. Fans are demanding answers, wondering how such negligence could lead to a near-fatal accident. Rogan's words capture the uncertainty and fear surrounding AJ's condition, while exposing the Paul's recklessness for all to see.
Happened to him when he survived, right? Like, did he hit his head? Did he hit his neck? Like, what is he okay? Like, is he 100%? Or is he always gonna be a little fucked from that?
John Fury's heartfelt message highlights the sheer relief and shock the world feels seeing Anthony Joshua survive such a catastrophic crash. While AJ counts his blessings, the Paul brothers are under a storm of criticism and legal scrutiny, their reputations shattered by their alleged recklessness. The tragic deaths of AJ's friends add layers of guilt and outrage, and public sentiment has turned sharply against the Pauls. Logan Paul's emotional defense of his brother only fuels the controversy, as fans struggle to reconcile the brothers' fame with the chaos they allegedly caused. Fury's words serve as a reminder of the fragility of life and the stark contrast between glory in the ring and the raw consequences outside it. Anthony survived, but the Paul brothers' legacy is now tainted forever.
AJ, you're one lucky lad. God bless you, I'm glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck everybody and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can and be safe.
Pain Game highlights the brutal reality of Anthony Joshua's survival, emphasizing the physical toll of the crash and the severity of his injuries. AJ is a fighter built to endure punishment, but no amount of training could prepare him for the trauma of losing his friends and facing near death in a car accident. The Paul brothers' alleged role has only magnified public anger, and their arrest shows that recklessness has real consequences. Fans see the contrast between AJ's resilience and the Paul's questionable behavior, from Logan's defensive stance to Jake's legal entanglements. The caution and care required in such an accident make the Paul brothers' involvement even more indefensible, leaving them humiliated and under intense scrutiny. Pain Game's commentary captures both AJ's suffering and the fallout that will follow the Pauls for years.
Through such a severe car accident there, like, alright, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
The fallout from Anthony Joshua's horrific car crash is far from over, and the Paul brothers are at the center of a storm they can't escape. Jake's arrest and the FBI investigation have exposed their recklessness to the world, leaving Logan visibly shaken and struggling to defend his brother. Fans are furious, questioning how fame and money can't shield them from accountability. Meanwhile, the tragic loss of AJ's friends casts a long shadow over the entire saga, reminding everyone that real lives were at stake. What do you think about Jake Paul's arrest? Was this crash truly avoidable, and should Logan continue defending his brother? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on this shocking story.